Hi, my name is Stephen Rafferty, and you're watching These Are Questions. This is the interview show where I ask people questions about things, life, and such not. And today's guest is a world-renowned hula hooper and a multi-talented performer. Please welcome Christine Villafuerte.
Thank you.
Welcome, Christine, to These Are Questions. Thank you so much for taking your time to speak with me and to be a part of this show. Before we get into the show itself, let me explain the rules of These Are Questions. Christine, I'm going to ask you a series of questions that are going to be based around your career and aspirations, along with a mixture of questions that are borderline idiotic and, well, randomly stupid. Do you accept those terms?
I accept.
Okay, perfect. Christine, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Internet, are you ready? I can feel it. I can feel it. There's someone hula hooping in the back right now, so I'm going to take that as a yes. With that in mind, let's begin. So, thank you so much for being a part of These Are Questions. Please formally introduce yourself and explain exactly what you do in the arts and your various types of arts you specifically do.
So my name is Christine Villafuerte. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida, and I've been traveling and busking around South America for 13 years now. A long time. I don't even realize how long it's been.
Wow.
But yeah, and so street performing, I've been mostly street performing. I've done also events, circus tents, theaters, but it's been mostly street performing. And so yeah, I started in circus arts. I started with something called poi, which are like two strings with a weight on the end that you spin around your body. Sometimes people see it with fire or with lights. That I did for like a year. That's how I got started. And then I started getting into other parts of circus, like acrobatics, aerials, juggling, contortion, handstanding. So yeah, all of that kind of came together, and about 4 years ago I started learning hula hoops. And for me it was like everything that I already knew was just like it just like exploded and was like, this is for me. Like I was always looking for something that really felt like it clicked, and with hula hoops I was like, this is it. And yeah, so, and I also play the accordion. I started like learning on my own. I always loved the accordion since I was little, and I would hear my parents would throw these parties and they'd play Carlos Vives, which is like vallenato from Colombia. And I didn't know what instrument it was or anything, but like later on I started seeing bands with the accordion, and I always loved the sound, and eventually I got my own and I learned. And yeah, and I actually, when I was in Argentina, I found a music school that you can learn, like you can study accordion like in a real music school.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I did a couple years there, and I learned so much. Like it really opened my mind to the world of music, which is complex but amazing. So yeah, that's what I do, music and circus arts.
That's so cool. It's like multiverse in so many different forms, and like you are literally the life of the party. Like, you know, people say, what's your special talent? There you have like 20 different ones and you can show it all at once.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And, you know, specifically with hula hooping, because I have a challenge with hula hooping. I am not a professional hula hooper by any chance. I wanted to ask you, what's the hardest thing about getting into hula hooping?
Well, I think maybe the hardest thing could be realizing like what size is right for you, because depending on what different kind of hula hooping you're trying to do, because there's so many different kinds. It's like the size of the hula hoop is going to make it a lot easier, a lot harder for you. So I think that maybe that's one of the hardest things, is finding the right size according to what you want to do.
I see. The right size fits all, it seems.
Right. There's no one size fits all. Like when you're more advanced, you can find that. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
She's crying.
Aw, why are you crying, buddy? It's just being on
There's
these
a lot
questions.
of noise, so
Aww.
she's scared.
Oh, don't be scared. It's just me, your friendly neighborhood Afro guy. Oh, what's your cat's name?
Tigre, like tiger.
Oh, nice. Oh, you can't be crying. That's a strong name. You gotta be brave, fierce, buddy. There you go, little bud. There you go. Well, he could stay if he wants, if it makes him more comfortable. He just has to sign a release form, that's all.
Okay, I'll get her to.
Well, it kind of leads to my next question, sort of, because it's about animals specifically. My question is, would you rather have a penguin or a panda as your own personal sidekick?
Well, the good thing about the penguin is that the penguin can swim and can glide on its stomach, but it can't fly. And the panda, I think, is a little more versatile, though maybe a bit more lazy. I don't know. So I think a panda. And plus it's cuddly and furry and I can hug it all the time. So well, yeah, a panda.
Yes, a
panda. Sorry, Tigre.
He's upset because you had to choose. He wasn't in the choosing there. So I'm sorry, bud. But okay. Panda can work there. Pandas are cute and cuddly, but they are incredibly violent. So just as a heads up, be careful when you hug them.
Well, as long as it's violent to others, to our enemies, then it's okay.
That's the way to look at it. That's the way you're gonna train the panda. Let me ask you this as my next question. Christine, what's your best tip to deal with stress?
With stress, I think that definitely finding some time to reflect, but also finding some distractions. Because like sometimes I'll start overthinking and I'll like get stressed out and like overthink. And I'll try to like reflect, but it just ends up into overthinking. So I think it's good to have like a balance between trying to feel what's going on, but then at the same time also taking a break and trying to distract yourself a little bit so you can breathe from whatever's stressing you out. And another thing is sometimes I'll feel like I'm like really stressed, and then I'll just think about like, okay, 10 deep breaths, but seriously deep, like breathe in for like 5-10 seconds, hold it in a couple seconds, and breathe out another 5-10 seconds. So, and doing 10 of those, because sometimes when you're stressed, you're just like nonstop. You want to keep going, and that helps me like stop and really calms me down. So yeah, those would be my tips. At least what I do.
Hey, it works. Good tips. I gotta work on the breathing meditation exercises myself, as I'm extremely stressed all the time. So I have to work on my deep breath and releasing out, and trying to deep breath again and again and again without getting stressed about doing that.
No, there's no rules. It's just finding your way to relax. Could be different for everybody.
Absolutely there. Well, each is their own, whatever works best for you there. So awesome. So my next question is, I have a dice cube. Okay. And it goes, here you go. Fair face. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Ice cube.
I
It
see
goes
it,
from,
yeah.
I have from numbers 1 to 6. I just want to ask you, where do you think this dice cube is going to land on?
6.
6? Okay. I heard that's a lucky number, so I want
It's the
you.
month I was born.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So that'd be, you said the month that you were born, so that's June, right? So you're either a Gemini or a Cancer, depending on when. I don't know your birth date, but
Gemini.
so Gemini, okay. I'm the same thing. I'm a Gemini too, but I wasn't 6. I'm 5. Yes. What do you think? I have this crazy show. This is Gemini in action.
Gemini energy.
That's right. That's right. Gemini energy.
The
Duality. Yin and yang. Yes. With that duality, I want you just to remember your number because it's going to play a bigger role at the end of this season. Okay? So just remember that. This will play
6.
later on. Okay? 6. So you'll know. So, you mentioned that you've traveled to many different parts of the world, mainly in South America, but in other areas as well. And you put your videos online expressing your many talents, especially in your hula hooping skills. Where is one landmark or specific location you would like to hula hoop in the future?
Like anywhere?
Anywhere in the world that you haven't gone to yet.
I don't know what these places are exactly called, but I've seen pictures and videos of these super like crystalline beaches with little round mountains in Southeast Asia. I don't know if it's Indonesia or I think it's Indonesia or Vietnam, Thailand, one of those. But in Southeast Asia, there's like these beautiful beaches with little round mountains that people like kayak through. That's definitely a spot that I want to go to, and I would love to do a big video there.
Oh, that would be cool. That'd be pretty cool there. I'll research and find the exact name of the location. If I can find it, I'll put some pictures for our episode here. But that seems like a cool destination there. It's exotic. It's different.
Yeah, I wanna go there. Southeast Asia, I think it must be amazing. I mean, it's probably like South America, but of course, like I think there's a lot of similarities between the cultures over there and cultures over here. But yeah, it's totally different. It's like totally different language, totally different everything. So it would be interesting to see it.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely there, and it's not a when. It's not an if, it's a when. Like you're gonna go over there at some point. We're manifesting it into this episode right now, so you're gonna come back to this in the future and be like, "Wow, Steven, you asked me that really kind of bizarre, stupid question, but look at me now. I actually did it here in Southeast Asia. Look at this.
I'll
Here's
remember
the proof."
you.
Yes, I hope you do. A lot of people don't, but I hope you do.
In spirit.
Yes, I'll be there in spirit, trying to figure out my hula hooping skills and trying to move at least a little bit, And you mentioned it earlier that you play the accordion, which I did see that while doing my research for the show, and I wanted to ask you, what's your best song you can play on the accordion?
I think it's a song that I haven't practiced in a while, but technically I can play it. It's called Adios Nonino by Astor Piazzolla. So yeah, that's like, wow, like my biggest accomplishment with the accordion.
That's so cool.
And then there's other ones that of course I love and I'm proud of, but I feel like that's the masterpiece so far.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's an incredible talent just to play that because it's such a intricate instrument in itself, and it's very detailed in how you do your movements and stuff. And I'm always fascinated with that particular instrument because a lot of people don't know how to play it. So it's just like when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is different. This is cool. So yeah, cool stuff. Can't wait to listen to your music more and more. Let me ask you, pick between the three: white chocolate, milk chocolate, or dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate is
For sure.
so good. It's nice. It's pleasant. It's not too bitter. It's not too sweet. It's a nice richness to it. You know.
It's more real without so much sugar and milk and all the stuff.
All the stuff. See, I have to. For me, I'm between white and dark, so I'm actually technically milk chocolate just because of both my generational talent there. So, so I'm in a mixture of that, but I really do like dark chocolate, especially as I get older as an adult. Like it's a new appreciation for it.
Mm-hmm. I've tried really good chocolate in Ecuador. My family's from Ecuador, and the best chocolate I've tried is there.
Oh, I bet, so because they have the plants there, like in the forest. Yeah. So you're getting like you're getting authentic cacao, you know, and like right there.
I've picked it, and I've helped, you know, take it out, put it to the side, and yeah, it's a whole process. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's so cool. I wouldn't mind doing that in the future at some point, just holding the plant and seeing how you harvest it, you know, and make chocolate out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So cool.
And it has a fruit on it that's super good that nobody even knows it's like a fruit. On top of the bean, there's a fruit that's like white. You can't really chew it because it's mostly like the seed, but you can like suck on it and then spit it out, and yeah, that becomes your chocolate. Someone might have sucked and spit out your chocolate before you ate it.
Oh, that's good to know. That makes me feel better there. Tigre, do you agree with that? Do you wanted to hear that there? Oh, he's just sucking on your thumb now, so
yeah.
He's happy now. It's fine. It's fine.
That's Tigre's way to relax from stress.
That's his stress tip.
Yeah.
I like that. And I want to ask as my next question is what's a cool piece of advice for someone who wants to do what they love?
I think just experiment and also really be connected with why you want to do it, and from there take the risk to try different things out and see where it takes you. I always say nothing is certain, but everything is possible, so you just have to try and see where it goes.
Good advice, good simple advice, and it really is, because like that's a really good quote. I really like that, because nothing is certain, but anything is possible. And it's true, because anything is technically possible if you put your mind to it, you know. And you may not be a guarantee something could come in, or you may not get the answer you want, but at least you're trying and you're putting that into the universe. So yeah, I really like that quote. I'm writing that down. I'm writing that one down. So
not trying. From my ex-boyfriend.
I'm sorry?
It's from an ex-boyfriend of mine.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, he's okay. He's good.
Okay. We'll just cut him out of that. So don't worry. Sorry, bud. It's, you know, it was still a good quote, but you can't. No. Hopefully you're happy. Hopefully it's all good. I hope it is. But yes. And you know, we're wrapping up on our These Are Questions interview, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk with me here. But I just have one more question to ask you, Christine, and this question is important. My question is, if you had to put yourself in a movie, which movie would you put yourself in, and which movie would never want to put yourself in?
The first thing that came to my mind. Okay, the first thing that came to my mind was Titanic. But at the same time, it's both. Like, I love what happens before the sink ships, but then, before the ships sink. But then, but then at the same time, I don't want the ending. So I don't know. I guess it's both. Titanic for both. I want to be. What's her name? Rose. I want to be Rose.
You want to be Rose for like the first half, but not the second half.
Yeah. Exactly. I want to be Rose until before the sink ships. No, just kidding. Before the ship sinks.
Yes, before the sink ships. Yes, because that's how Titanic worked. Yeah, it was the sink that ship down, and that's what caused everything. Not the ship. Don't worry about that. But that's a good choice. I wasn't expecting that answer. That's a good one. For both.
I wasn't expecting that either. It just came to my mind, and I was like, wait, but at the same yes, and at the same time, no.
Well, these are questions for you. Sometimes you get expected answers, sometimes you get unexpected answers. It's just how the theme goes. Sometimes you get cats. I don't know. This show's always all over the place. Who knows what happens? With that, Christine, unfortunately, we are at the end of our These Are Questions interview. It was a great pleasure interviewing you for this episode for These Are Questions, but now the floor is yours. Anything you want to talk about, anything you want to promote, anything you want to say before we wrap up this interview for These Are Questions, the internet/floor/internet/Titanic/Tigre is yours.
I think so I can take advantage of this moment. I'd say for people to always try to be connected with their feelings and try to appreciate the moment, the now, whatever you have, whatever you don't have, the most important thing is this moment right now. So whatever you're going through, it might be good, it might be bad, but there's always something that we can be grateful for. So that would be my message.
Good positive message there, Christine, and a nice way to send off for the end of our These Are Questions interview. I will put all of Christine's information in the descriptions down the sinking ship. I will put all of our information in the
sink ships.
Yes, hashtag sink ships. Yes. We're going to get the Titanic back. We're going to bring it back to life. That's going to be our future goals there as we have those positive moments. But yes, I will put all of our information in the descriptions down below for those that are watching on my YouTube channel and for those that are listening on my Spotify, Apple Podcast feed, or wherever you get your podcasts. We greatly appreciate you all listening to all of our episodes here for These Are Questions, especially as we're in season 5 at the moment. So greatly do appreciate it there. And with that, all I just have to say is that you've been watching/listening to These Are Questions.
Woo! Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a great pleasure.